Okay. And bam. So input first number. Bam. First number. Bam. First number. Bam. And then the name of this whole line is number one. Bam. Number one. This whole line is number one. Number one. This whole line is number one. Number one. This whole line is number one. Everything highlighted here is highlighted correctly. I know I usually just not highlight correctly or just somewhat highlight, but this is like the correct highlight. From here to here, all this is number one, number one, number one, number one. Okay? And input, next input. This allows us to put in 256. So right here, they put in 256. Input, next input, they put in 256. Input, next input, they put in 256. Input, next input, they put in 256. Input lets user type, user type, user type. Next input lets the machine actually put in big numbers. Next input lets the machine actually put in big numbers. Next input actually lets the machine put in big numbers. Okay? And next line. In the system folder, and the thing that lets us put stuff out to the screen, the function that actually lets us put it out on the screen, or the technology that lets us put it out on the screen. Function is proper vocab, function is proper vocab, function is proper vocab. Machine's an analogy, machine is like the analogy I'm using. Okay, but function's the proper term. But I just say machine, so y'all can understand it. I'm really talking about myself, but it's easier to teach when I'm pretending I'm talking to other people. Okay. Now, input the second number. Oops. Alright. And bam. La 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 la. Function, function, function. It allows us to do this, allows us to do this, and what actually comes on the screen. What actually comes on the screen, actually come on the screen, actually come on the screen. And same thing as the first one up here. Um, Hold up. So it's easier to understand. Okay. Name is number two, name is number two, name is number two. And technology that lets us input it, technology that lets us input it, technology that lets us input it. Okay? And number two. So a whole bunch of numbers, a whole bunch of numbers, a whole bunch of numbers. Allow us to put 2 billion numbers, 2 billion, 2 billion. Alright, so now number two can be 2 billion. Oh, we can be 2 billion now. Okay. And allows us to put stuff on the screen, put stuff on the screen, put stuff on the screen. And we're going to be allowed to put in 2 billion, a number up to 2 billion, number up to 2 billion, number up to billion. Alright, the user can now put in the number up to 2 billion. Ah. Okay. And instead of 2 billion, we chose 326, 326, 326. Okay. And same exact thing. All this is num2, num2, num2. And all this is num2. This whole thing is num2, num2, num2. This line is num2. The line is num2. The line is num2. I think this line is better to understand than this whole thing. And right here, um, okay, we're gonna call this sum. So sum is just literally addition, addition, addition. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. And it equals number 1 plus number 2. Literally exactly the same like this. So number 1, number 1, number 1, number 2, number 2, number 2. And oops. Plus the add, plus the add, plus the add. Number 1, add, number 2. Number 1, add, number 2. Number 1, add, number 2. And Java's automatically, everything in the parentheses is automatically gonna be added. Bam. Bam. Okay. And number 1 plus number 2. Okay. And in number 1, they put 256. And in number 2, they put 326. Okay? So 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2. 256 plus 326. Bam, 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 bam. I'm going to call all this sum. But this is just by itself. It's literally by itself. This is not going on the screen. This is calculations behind the scene. Calculations behind the scene. Calculations behind the scene. or burgers are getting ready in the back.